Hi, everyone, and welcome to your March energy reading. So, we actually have a couple of retrogrades this month, where it's going to require you to slow down, to reassess. I use all the re words, okay? Rethink, redo, whatever it may be. It's going to ask you to look inward, all right? So, it's kind of like, think of it like second chances almost, okay? To get to do something, maybe to do it better, maybe to do it in a different way with the Venus and Mercury retrogrades that are happening for most of the month, all right? We're also going to be talking about how this is a real transformational month. We have Neptune moving into Aries. Now, that's at the end of the month, okay? But we are building up to it, so you'll start feeling the energy. I want to say the last time that Neptune was in Aries was back in the 1800s. And when it goes in this time, with a retrograde, I do believe in it, it will stay there until roughly 2039. So it's quite excited. Big energy there. But let's get right into this March, right? Let's see what's going to happen for you all. We're not really going to ask a lot of questions. We're going to talk about first just the overall energy maybe for you to take on, to deal with getting ready to move Neptune into Aries and what that means. I'm going to tell you all about that and about the Venus and Mercury retrogrades in Aries as well. So let me get you an overall energy card. Sun, Spirit. Well, the sun is fiery energies and Aries is a fire element planet. So, you know what? It's all about being energetic and active and enthusiastic and passionate, maybe a little impulsive, outgoing, those sort of things, right? Like wanting to move forward. With the sun card here, and it's a 1, which is the first house, which is ruled by Aries and then Mars, right? But with the sun, I almost want to say this is really, well, it's a focus on you, because the sun is your personality. It's your life force. It's who you are. Okay, it's your zodiac sign, right? So really big focus on you here for this month of March. I'm liking that. Let's put these cards to the side and let's start bringing out some others. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Venus retrograde in Aries, and it's pretty much the entire month. So when Venus is in retrograde, how can I say it? It often takes on the energy of a very determined Libra. So instead of being more independent, like first house and Aries energy, and taking initiative towards yourself and for yourself, you may actually look to other people to do that for you. Okay? It may be hard for you to be alone. You may want to surround yourself with people. You may even find yourself becoming more dependent on other people or someone else. But as I mentioned earlier, the retrograde is a time to go inward, right? To reflect. In this case, we're talking about self, how to rely on yourself and not other people when it comes to things like your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, and even your social or financial needs, okay? So let's get a few cards here and talk about what does Spirit, God, Source, Universe, whomever, have for you here. This card has come out, and how to help you deal with that, to go within, to not become so dependent during this month on other people, to stay, well, and look who come out, the other fire sign. I love it. Leo, ruled by the sun, okay, but shine. It is also the 5th house, which is all, about your creativity and standing out there to shine in the sunlight or the spotlight, right? So they're saying one of the things that you can do is just, I almost want to say, If you're someone who normally likes to stand behind, this isn't the month to do that. The retrograde's going to make you maybe feel like that a little bit, but I feel like you're going to have to fight it like a fierce lion here. You're going to have to fight that energy so that you are being more independent and taking care of yourself and taking the initiative for yourself rather than depending on other people to do that for you, being dependent on others. So if ever there was a time to roar like a lion, this is the month. Okay, let's get a little bit more here. What else do they have to say about that? You've got to stand in the sun. You've got to be your own person. And maybe what this means is for a lot of you, it is going inward and reflecting on maybe why sometimes you feel that you need other people to look after you, to take care of you, to do things for you. Why do you feel that need? We know this month it's going to be brought on along a lot by this Venus retrograde, but generally speaking for you, because there's always many messages in this, and this is what's coming through, how can you be more independent? How can you shine more in your life? And we have, you guys look, I always call this doubling down, the 5th house, where you have fun, romance, and create things you are proud of. Maybe that's it. Maybe there needs to be a little romance, right? Maybe that will get you out and you have to take that endeavor on independently. No one else can go out and find a person for you that you like, whether it's in friendship, romance. I mean, the 5th house is a lot about the romance, but if that's not where you are in your life, it can be in those other creative things that again light you up. Okay, now let's bring out another card here. Like he's drawing, that is an independent. This really could be calling on you. I mean, they're doubling down on this 5th house ruled by the sun. So this is almost a triple down at this point. And they're like, no, you need to take on that energy. And don't let this retrograde swallow you. Uranus, get out there. March to the beat of your own drum. Do not be afraid to take that initiative. Okay? Do not allow other people or yourself maybe, to become dependent on people for your physical and mental and emotional health or socially, right? Oh, I'm liking this. Let's get another. This is good. And we're going to pull some tarot as well. Oh, and out came, well, Aries. This is a retrograde in Aries, all right? And I said it can almost take on that very determined Libra energy. So I'm just going to go through here and see what words jump out at me. Courageous, sparky, on a mission, right? The fire starter here. Lots of fire energy. Again, Aries fire sign, all right? So, number 20 may be important to you too, or the number 2. But they're saying you need to get out there. You need to be daring. You need to start things for yourself. Do things for yourself. Don't be timid. Don't be afraid, okay? Be courageous like the lion. Now, let me get one more, and then we're going to pull some tarot too. But again, different story for different people. So for some of you, it's really, you're going to have to put the fight up to not let that energy of being dependent on others swallow you up this month. And you need to really work on it. And others, it may not be that that's normally you. And this can just be a message of you going in and figuring out the why. Because maybe this happens to you sometimes in your everyday life when there isn't a Venus retrograde. Look, Leo just came out again. Self-confident, loyalty, and creativity. So really, I feel that you know, if you can get your creative juices, and that may be in whatever. Look, you could be a jewelry maker like my friend. You could be an artist. You could be a poet, a writer. Maybe you love to scrapbook. Maybe you love to knit, crochet, whatever it is. Maybe you just like to do little reno projects around your house, okay? Those are redos. So, but wherever you can put your creative focus and your creative mind is really going to help you during this Venus retrograde. Now let me pull a little tarot, and then we're going to get into Mercury and Neptune as well. But this is really a time for you to step up and do this, to not allow yourself to be victim to the retrograde, or you tend to allow that in your everyday life, and this is how you're going to step away from it. Sometimes it takes me a minute to get those words out right. Look, Death card. It's time for death and rebirth. That's what the Death card in tarot is. It's getting rid of the old so that you can bring in the new, and the new you is that independent, taking the initiative, getting excited and passionate and, you know, outgoing about things. The Page of Cups. The Page of Cups right here is very, very creative page, okay? So what I want to say here with the Page of Cups, this is really you tapping into your creativity here with all this Sun, Leo, 5th house energy. Thinking of new ways to do things, new creative ways to do things. All right? Really listening to your intuition. Now let's get one more before we move. Ace of Cups. Again, it's time for a new beginning. I love this. Okay, it's time for a new beginning. And you know I hate it when my cards get all messed up here. So let me just put that on. That's also finding joy, creativity, maybe even new relationships. This is 5th house. There can be some romance in there. Or like I said, if it isn't about the romance, that's for the majority, I'd say. It could just be getting out and dating, going out and having dinners, or, you know, going out and playing mini golf, whatever it may be. All right. But this is a passionate, new, creative beginning as well. Now, let's talk about Mercury retrograde. It's pretty much starting around the 15th to the end of the month, okay? So we all know Mercury retrograde. Everybody says it's usually when, you know, you feel a little foggy, you can't make clear decisions, your electronics tend to get a little wonky. But being that this is a Mercury retrograde in Aries, we really have to look at that fiery Aries energy, okay? And we have to ask ourselves, or be aware, rather. We have to be aware that with that fiery Aries energy, and we're in a retrograde, you may find that it could be tempers flaring, okay? Even arguing or fighting with people. So you have to be very careful about what it is that you say and do, because you might not be able to take it back down the line. All right. You may even find yourself being a bit more impulsive or impatient, wanting to jump and start new things without really thinking it through. And what happens there is that causes problems down the road, doesn't it? When you jump into things without really thinking it through. So with this Mercury retrograde in Aries, it could have you doing that. But what you need to focus on here is the new beginning part. But with a in front of it, right? The revamp, redo, reassess. Think of it as the second chance. I mentioned that at the beginning. Things that need to maybe be started again. But this time you do it with a lot of planning involved, or a lot of real thought involved, a lot of clarity involved, okay? So just grabbing my cards here again, and we're going to pull cards for Mars. How can you help, I want to say, to keep your tongue intact, right? Watching what you say, not letting your temper get flared up, not arguing or even fighting with people, right? Not being impulsive and impatient, and not thinking before you do or before you speak. All right. So let's talk about that. conjunction. Love it. Conjunctions in astrology are when two planets come together. Well, they don't come together. They're literally sitting beside one another, okay? They're like degrees, literally degrees apart, very few, and they work together. So there we go. Like geese. Did you ever watch that movie, Fly Away Home, and how the geese use one another so that they don't all tire out as they are going? So that's one of their messages. Always just think of the alliance, like I'm aligning with these people. I'm not getting mad at them. I'm not arguing with them, or whatever it is that you may want to do, or in this case, think about strongly and assess and redo. It has to be something that's tight. It works together. Okay. So I love that that card come out for you. Let's get another here. What else do we have? That's the energy you need to focus on. If it's something you're doing, it needs to be tight, right? It just needs to work. There can be no gaps in it. It has to be very clear and planned. And if it's with people, you just need to think we're side by side and we need to get along, because that's what a conjunction is doing, working together. Okay, here we have Uranus. Wow, Uranus come out up here too. It says your potential for sudden change, enlightenment, and awakening. I feel what this is trying to tell you here is, you know what? Awaken to the fact that you need to be, okay? You need to be on your game this month. With the Venus retrograde and the Mercury retrograde, you need to be on your game. There could be sudden changes. But in order for you not to be fighting and arguing with people and starting things without any thought, you need to be on your game. You need to enlighten yourself and awaken yourself to that fact, so that you don't allow yourself to fall into, I want to call that shadow or negative energy. Now let's get another. What else? What else do we have? Pisces. Take a little time. This is your, again, very creative energy with Pisces. They tend to be those poets and musicians and whatever else. You can be, I call it crafty, in many different ways, okay? Artistic in many different ways, a creator in many different ways. So instead of rushing in with this Aries energy, take a little time in some Pisces energy where you just go with the flow. You really think about it. You get inspired by it. Patience would fall into here, right? You really dream about it. And the whole point is maybe you want to try to bring those dreams of yours into reality. And that's what you need to rethink or focus on, or maybe you need to have a second chance on bringing some of those dreams to reality, to fruition. Now, let's keep going before we get into some tarot for it too. We have Chiron, healing. This could be your second chance to heal, okay? If there's anything that's been bothering you, upsetting you, okay? If you've been plagued by self-doubt or any sensitivities or shame or anything like that, what do you need to fix up and heal here? Where do you need to see growth? What do you need to release and let go of? We did talk about that here with the Death card. And that's what Chiron's all about, healing an inner wound and working on it and having a new start with it. So keep that in mind. Is there something that needs to be healed? Why does your temper flare up? It's a lot to do with the planetary energy that's in the movement, but also for some of you, this may be you every day, not when there's a retrograde. And this might be your message, okay? Let me get one other card and then we'll get some tarot and then we'll move on to Neptune. The third house, Yes, all about communication, right? Your childhood, maybe that's where the healing needs to happen, or maybe you've had dreams and wishes about your life since you've been a child, okay? It's the rational mind, yes, and communication. I often talk about that rational mind working with your thoughts, your intuition, your feelings, your gut feelings, right? So maybe that's an important message for someone out there. I'm saying that for a reason, but I really want to say this is all about, and we talked about at the beginning, communication, so that you're not all out and crazy and arguing and going on with other people, or even, I want to say, yourself. You know, we can have a pretty good argument with ourselves and conflict within our own self sometimes. Okay, so let's now do a little tarot for these and see what other advice, guidance, Spirit has for us regarding this Mercury retrograde, the Palace of Wands. Oh, I normally have a card for these because they're so interesting. And I do not know where it is. Darn it all. I'm going to take a quick look, though, maybe. Let me get the other ones out, because there's always a bit of a different message in there. I may have the book handy. The Ten of Swords. Yeah, I feel like this is an ending for you, okay? This is an ending of you, if this is you not in a retrograde, of just kind of having that second chance to start again, where things aren't full of temper and argument and maybe rage at times, saying things and then you can't take them back because they've been really hurtful and the person just simply isn't going to let you take it back. They're done. Or that always rushing into something without a lot of real thought behind it. And look, we have the Four of Coins. Yeah, this is like holding back the Four of Coins, okay? So it's time to hold back, okay? Think things through. A lot of real thought, a lot of planning, and a lot of patience. Now, I want to find out about that Page of Wands, so just give me 1 second. Okay, here we go, everyone. The Palace of Wands. This card shows a warm environment that encourages creative inspiration and the launching of plans and projects. The structures are built into a mountaintop, suggesting both the long climb ahead and also the attainability of the goal. Butterflies symbolize transformation of dreams into reality, and red roses signify passion. Do you see how this is tying in? Not just here with the Mars retrograde, but also the Venus. The structures are lit from within with the fires of the heart. Statues portraying the Knight of Wands symbolize forward momentum and focus, right? I want to say it's focusing on that second chance, or the new beginning, or the second new beginning. Okay, love that for you. Now, let's continue on. And this time we are going to be talking about Neptune moving into Aries. Probably we'll get into it a bit more next month, but I want you to be aware of the energy, because we're going to start feeling it, right? We're going to start feeling it. We're coming into degree where it's moving in. So some of you may have been feeling this already. All right, because we're talking 12th house, and we talked about that here. Neptune rules Pisces. And for the past number of years, it has been at home in Pisces, okay? So you could have been feeling energy, and this is collective, because Neptune is more of a collective than a personal planet. But if you have strong Neptune in your chart, you may have been feeling this. Dreamy, imaginative, really interested or wanting to participate in the mystical and the magical, anything to do with spirituality or illusion, okay? And then on the shadow side of that, because Pisces and Neptune does have a shadow side, really, of wanting to withdraw or escape so that you don't have to deal with reality. You want to go into that dreamy, ethereal state, right? Addiction, again, helping you to forget, helping you to withdraw, helping you to escape. But here's the deal. That's what was. It's now moving into Aries, and that is going to be, I always call Aries that can-do energy, right? So with the two of them mixed together, think of it like this. What dreams and wishes do you have that you want to get creative about? And we've been talking about this. I love how this whole reading is tying together, that you can get creative about and literally bring into reality for yourself. But the other thing is, you're not going to want to just do it for yourself. You're also going to have this feeling to do it for the collective, for everyone, for your fellow man, right? Wanting things to improve for them too. So it's a real potent combination of inspiration from the Neptune and action from the Aries. There's a real possibility of conflict during this time, and people are going to need to decide whether or not to fight for the future they want, right? What do they dream for their future? What do they wish for their future? You and everyone, the collective, and build the dream together as one unit, or waste your energy fighting pointless battles. Pisces likes to tap into the collective consciousness. In that energy likes to think not just about themselves, but everyone. And what does everyone want and need and wish for? Okay, so with things that have been going on lately, you may see how it's interesting that this outer planet, Neptune, which is, I call it the collective planets, the outer planets, they are really affecting everyone. But like I said, if you have strong Neptune, especially in your chart, you'll really feel this strongly. But let's get a few cards. 7th house relationship. What kind of relationship do you want to have? What do you want your future to be? How do you want to get along with everyone? Right? How do you want the world to get along with everyone? It's very much a collective energy, but let's get some more. They want you to think of it like a Libra, harmony, peace, getting along, everyone on the same page. This card flipped over. Oh, actually, two. Look at this. They want, this energy in Pisces is wistful, endlessly loving, compassionate, and forgiving. It confuses and softens resolve. So true. But they want you. They're doubling down on the Pisces, like really try to tap into not just what do I want my future to be, you know, working on this up until 2039. What do I want everyone? What success do I want for everyone? And how do I keep myself from living in that Pisces energy, especially if it's on the negative of withdrawal, addiction, or escapism? The 2nd house is coming in. Maybe for us as a collective, we really need to start focusing on things of value. What do we value besides ourselves, right? We need to maybe focus on our assets, on our finances moving forward over this next little while. Or it may be that energy is going to bring that out in you where you're just going to be like, oh, why am I so focused now on my personal values, right? My core values. How I do value myself. How do I value others? How do I value my assets, my money, my finances, okay? So it may have you looking at that in a more serious type energy. That would be the Aries coming through, right? Kind of that action energy. I need to think about this 2nd house stuff. The moon. The moon for me I always say it tunes into Pisces, and that's because in the tarot, the moon card represents Pisces, so I feel like this is a double down again as well. All right? But with the moon, there's time. This is a 14, could be important to you. Also the number 5. there may be stuff that isn't illuminated yet, that is still hidden, that we are unaware of yet. And when the time comes, I talked about the potent combination of inspiration and action. I feel like this card is going to call for that when more is revealed, right? Because we have full moons, which illuminate everything, and we have new moons, which are dark. We don't even see the new moon in the sky. I really feel like this is going to illuminate something where we tap into that potent energy of inspiration and action, not just for ourselves, but for everyone. Ooh, that's very interesting. Okay, let's keep going. They're really giving you great messages here on how to deal with this. We need to be one. We need to be in peace and harmony. Taurus, the second house, again, being practical. I'm just looking to see, there's different things on here. Being loyal, being patient, even being solid, productive. Those are the words that jumped out to me. Okay. And let me get the last card, and then I'll bring some tarot. This reading is a little differently for this month, but with Neptune moving into Aries, big move, okay? Big move. Last time it was in Aries was the 1800s. You know, it's coming out of Pisces, that very dreamy, imaginative, spiritual, you know, illusions, etc. And into Aries, big shift, okay? And we have South Node destined to release. The South Node's things that we tend to fall back on that maybe we've carried with us from previous lives, some of it not so good. So if we need to release some of that not so good, that's what this South Node card is coming out to tell us. Look, things that we're just naturally good at, embrace those. We've probably done them in a past life, and that's why we're so good at them. But those other things, think of it like the things that you go, I don't even know why I do that, or how did I get so good at that, or why am I so bad in this area of my life? Maybe it's with money, and that's why Taurus has come out here. You may need to release whatever that is and start focusing more on the positive, okay? The positive aspects, whether it's your core values or the money itself, right? So let's get a few more cards here. But the thing is, this whole month, this really is the sun shining on us. We need to have everything illuminated. This should be this month. Some really great things should be happening. Have that strength. I think we had a lion, now we have a tiger, but again, it is Leo, right? The strength card is Leo's card. So again, we're bringing back that fifth house energy. We've got the Queen of Cups. I love this with the Pisces and thinking of the collective and even yourself back here when it comes to the Mercury retrograde in Aries. All of these things, we have to think of it with love, kindness, caring, compassion, not just for yourself. This is watery energy, but for others. Pisces is a water sign. We could say that Queen of Cups is representing Pisces again. Okay. And finally, we have the Page of Wands. I want to say the young Aries. Okay. So we kind of have here Leo, Pisces, and Aries all represented. And with that Page of Wands, for all of this, it's getting inspired. It's thinking of the ways that you can take action. It's believing that there is potential and limitless possibilities about anything that we've been talking about in here. But approaching it with courage and strength and confidence, but also the soft, watery side of love, care, compassion, kindness. So this is your overall energy reading for the month of March. Let me know if you like this reading, okay? Don't be afraid to put a comment in if this is something that you like, this type of reading where we talk about the different planetary movements. It's a bit more astrology based for the month, okay? I love doing these as an astrologer too. I love using these cards. So if this is something you like, I may may go back and forth, every other month and do something like this. Please let me know in the comments if you would like that, or if you prefer that I just go back to the regular way of reading for the monthly energy. But thank you very much, everyone, and I will see you in readings for the rest of the month. Turn that notification bell on and you'll know when they come up, okay? Thanks so much.